Good morning. Now this is more than just a little prop. This right here is proof. Left-handed people shouldn't exist.
Welcome to my YouTube channel.
You can't just say statements like left-handed people shouldn't exist
That's mean.
and discriminatory.
And it hurts my feelings.
It's ableist and I'm canceling you. I'm left-handed. I'm left-handed. I can say it, they're my people. So yeah, I'm left-handed. Sort of. I'm sort of left-handed. I do some things left-handed, I do some things right-handed, which I think a lot of people, if they were down to brass tacks, would say like, oh yeah, I do that left-handed. I open books left-handed, or I do some things like I write right-handed, but on a long gun I shoot left-handed, and on a pistol I shoot right-handed. I'm left-eye dominant, and I have my left foot. I was a left-footed soccer player. I preferred to kick with my left foot. When I learned boxing, I learned traditional stance. When I wrestled, I was switch stance. I was goofy-footed. I skateboard goofy, but push mogul. So I'm kind of we won't get into skateboarding. I skate fakey. I said it. I skate fakey. Figure that one out. So I'm left-handed, and it sucks. You see, 15, 20 years ago, my mom started learning guitar, and she bought a right-handed guitar. She purchased one and took lessons for about 6 months, and then it sat. The older you get, the more you lose like neuroconnective elasticity or something. So your brain doesn't work as quick as it used to. So learning a language is harder when you're older, but when you're 2 and your parents are speaking Spanish to you, Japanese, English, and German, you can learn all 4 languages like that. The older you get, the more it breaks down and the harder it is to learn stuff. It's the way it is. So my mom's learning guitar, and I, as a 10-year-old, would sneak into a room, grab a guitar, grab out the chord sheets, open them up, set them down, and I'd go to play. And I'd look at the book. I skipped the start of the book. That was my mistake. That's the crucial mistake that's led to this moment. I skipped the start of the book, and I looked at these sheets, which were just lines and said like numbers of where you needed to put your finger for each of the strings. So like 3 2 0 0 3 3 G. And I'd read it and go, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. And I played the guitar upside down. I learned guitar upside down until like 4 or 5 months later, I was at youth group, and they said, hey, does anyone play bass? We don't have a bass player next week. We could use a bass player.
I play bass.
I lied at youth group. Don't do that. I lied at youth group and said, oh, I play bass, which meant I needed a bass. Well, I dug a hole. So I went home and said, hey, Mom, can I'm in the youth group band. Would you get me a bass? And she's like,
You're in the youth group band playing bass?
see, she could smell when something was kind of fishy, because that doesn't sound true, but it was. I was in the youth group band. I was playing that Sunday on bass because I had dug a hole. And to my mom's credit, she took me down to the Music Alley, which is a local shop. Rick owns it. Great guy. If you're ever in Wellsville, go see Rick. Amazing shop. And he had one bass that was left-handed, a Dean. I think it was like $119, and he gave us a good deal on it. It was my first bass. I stood there and it was like boom, ticka, boom, ticka, blah. I'm kidding. I just played the open strings. Dum 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 dum.
That's my bass.
So we got a bass, and I played it in youth group, and I actually learned the songs, which were, thank God, simple enough for me to learn. It was just the same 4 chords over. Whew. The Lord above was looking out for me. But that continued down this long path of being left-handed, which needs to be canceled. Left-handers just, they shouldn't exist. You see, when it comes to guitar, 90% of the world is right-handed. They write, they do everything right-handed. And the other 10% is left-handed. So if you're in a business, let's say you're making milkshakes, and 90% of your customers like chocolate and 10% like vanilla, are you going to make more chocolate milkshakes or vanilla? You're going to make chocolate. So if 90% is right-handed, yeah. And there's tons of right-handed guitars. You search guitar, every guitar is right-handed. If you could take one thing away from this video, here it is. If you're learning guitar, congratulations, you're now right-handed.
But I got left-handed.
Nope, you play guitar right-handed. Sorry, that's the way it is. And actually, you'll have an advantage if you're left-handed on a right-hand guitar, because all the finger work, that's your dominant hand. The other hand just has to do this. Yeah, doesn't make any sense. So how do you get left-handed guitars? That's where I wound up. I have a list of guitars I want. This was pride and joy of my collection. A Gretsch, I think is how it's pronounced. Gretsch resonator. It's electric, acoustic. It's gorgeous. Oh,
Wait a minute.
that doesn't look like Gretsch's logo.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a Gretsch knockoff. That's straight from a boat off in China. Good old China. Because that's where I have to go to get left-handed guitars. I have to go to some non-reputable sources. Or pay the Magic Man. Pay the Magic Man, anywhere from $60 to $100 extra for an instrument that is turned around. You could just put that stuff on this side. You could do that. I'm not that smart, but you could just flip it around and not charge me the extra money. So, yeah, I have to go to these Chinese companies to get stuff that I want to use. So, what is my laundry list of dream guitars? If I could have all the money in the world, what guitars would I want? Resonators. Resonator is one that I've wanted. I have two of these. They are my prize and joys, but they're terrible. The intonation's horrible. They sound like crap. I use them all the time.
they're my favorite.
The other one that's on my list is a baritone. Now, a baritone guitar has a longer neck. It's got a lower sound. You hear it. Dave Matthews. I don't like Dave Matthews Band. Do you guys? I just... Dave Matthews is like slowed down Tenacious D, and I'd rather just listen to Jack Black, personally. I think he's a better singer than the Dave Matthews singer. So Dave... Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Dave Matthews uses a baritone guitar. City in Color. If you're a throwback musician like myself and you listen to Alexis on Fire, the clean singer, the guy that was like, whoa, he had a real high-pitched voice. He started another band which was just him called City in Color. And he uses a baritone on some of his stuff. It's just a low-sounding guitar. Because the neck's longer, you can stretch the strings farther. The longer they go, the deeper they sound. Bass is longer. Bass also has some thicker strings. So like I've wanted a left-handed acoustic electric baritone guitar. And here's the search results.
N-O, N-O, no, 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 no. N-O, N-O, no, 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 no. N-O, N-O, no, 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 no.
Yeah, there are none. You can blame COVID. You can blame a lot of things, but there aren't any that I can find. I even went to Google, and I don't trust Google. I use DuckDuckGo. I went to Google looking, maybe I can find one that's a reasonable price. And reasonable for me is $100 to $200. I like a crappy guitar because I play crappy guitars. So $100 to $200 would be great. And I haven't been able to find anything in that price range, which means we build one? We build one.
We build one.
Look at this. This is a left-handed... I'm not going to give it all away. This is a left-handed Ibanez. Ibanez something. It's not a baritone. It's a regular guitar. But I'm going to throw some fat old boy strings on it. Some chunky strings. And that should be able to tune down enough that I won't wreck the intonation. And if I do, oh well. Because this guitar cost me $20. It's heavily damaged. There's a...
Let's see. Get out of there, you stinker.
There's a bag of broken bits that came with it. There's electronics just floating around. This was at a guitar shop for about 2 years. And when I took in my resonator to get it tuned up, do some things to it to make it sound pretty again, I saw the one left-hand guitar. I was like, "Hey, what are you doing with that?" He's like, "You want it?" I'm throwing it away. I've had that for 2 years. And I was like, "I want it." So when I went and picked up my good guitar, I paid him $20. I was like, storage fee of $10 a year
For hanging that on your wall.
So we're gonna make a baritone guitar. Now I got some really great software for designing guitars. We're gonna hop over there and we're gonna take a look at what the plan is. The first thing we're going to do is sand the entire guitar. That looks like that. Sanded. Back to wood. Yeah. Oh, this software's great. And we're gonna sand up here. Back to wood. Then what we're going to do is we're going to get this beautiful stain called motor oil. And we're going to stain it with motor oil. Yeah, motor oil stain. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get fat, chunky strings. So fat chunk boys. Boom. 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 And that's it. Then we will have our custom baritone guitar. So that's going to be our plan moving forward. We are going to sand the entire guitar. I want to see what's under here because I did a test on the back. Now this whole section here still has primer on it. This section has the black and the epoxy. The epoxy's a nightmare to get through. But down here we get to the actual wood, and you wet it. You wet it just enough. You can see that it's got this beautiful grain structure. Now, if you're anything of a wood expert, that grain structure strikes me as the side of an OSB board or plywood, like chipboard, because it was never meant to see the light of day. Like the inside, yeah, that's supposed to see the light of day. That's grain. That though,
It smells like glue.
and it looks like ripped out terrible wood, which I'm excited for. It has all these little pockets in there, which I think motor oil is the way to go. Once we get it all sanded and torn apart, I think motor oil is going to be the way to go. And we're going to be able to get in some of those really dark pockets and have like black specks throughout the whole thing. I think it's going to be really pretty. We might do a clear coat on it, but that would have to wait till spring. It's too cold to do anything with paint. We'll clear coat it, and then we actually need to fix this portion of it. So it is a acoustic electric, and it's got some nice stuff that's supposed to be with it. Supposed to be. That portion of it, your preamp is broken, and it's just floating in the guitar. I don't know if I can purchase a new preamp, an Ibanez preamp. I should be able to, and just plug it in, and we're back with a normal guitar. If I can't, I have to find a replacement, or just direct line a piezo without any adjustments. And then once it's all finished, we'll put heavy strings on it, down tune it to a baritone guitar, and then have the ability to record some really sick stuff. In the meantime, though, the updates on it, I'm going to be wearing these guys. I'm going to be listening to the album. I'm going to be rewriting lyrics and sanding away. Like that's the next portion of it. I got probably 40 hours of sanding, which is 40 hours of writing. So looking forward to that. Bye.